how is it for Steph and the challenges without having a consistent number two scorer out there?
It's tough. I mean, it's hard to, let's say you're right, and I'm not saying you're not right. So we need a second option. Let's say the Warriors need to go out and get somebody. Then it becomes, sure, who? And a lot of these people being batted around as second options aren't necessarily that. They might be third options on a really good team. They might even be fourth options. But this idea of a second to Steph is fine in spirit and in thought. But who is that, and how do you get them? Because these people aren't just hanging around to be gotten and fit perfectly into your roster and into what you'd have to give up. So when you're talking about the second best player on a contending team, you're talking about a top 40, top 50 player in the league, and they're hard to get. And so you have to maybe overpay for them sometimes. You have to maybe take on a player that's older than you want. You have to give up younger players. You have to give up draft picks. You're not getting a second option that's a young player. That's not happening. You might get one that is on the back, close to the back end, but it's difficult. I'm not saying it's the wrong thought, but it is something that I'm sure the Warriors have heard, and whether it's Joe or Mike, and are well aware and will do it if it makes sense and is easy to do. But that's just the start of the conversation. It's nowhere near the end. It's saying, oh, we'd like to get Steph a second option. Sure. Okay. Now what? And it's funny. When I was in that job, I used to sit around the conference room and everybody would say what our problems were. It's easy, right? Everybody can tell you what's wrong. I would always say, okay, well, what's the solution? And that's the job. Is any of us can identify issues, not any of us, but many that watch the team. Now what do you do? And realistically, what do you do? So I think that's what they're trying to figure out now.